Star Trekking in Vegas. Uh-oh, I'm not plugged in. Hello and welcome to Star Trekking in Vegas. Unfortunately, Goldie and Biggs have the Rigelian fever, but we just happen to be on Earth for our holiday. I am Jazim of the Andorian Imperial Guard.
And I am Steve of the Andorian Cultural Administration.
Attaché, if you will.
Yes.
Yo, we love Las Vegas. We've been partying down on Fremont Street today. Woo!
Woohoo, as the young Earth females say.
You know, we've had so much fun in Las Vegas this weekend. We went to a cultural arts, performance arts experience last night called Chipendales. Chipendales.
You know, I've never found pinkskins attractive until last night. This is amazing.
Yes, we like the Chipendales.
Oh.
So
You know, as part of my duties as ambassador to Earth, I have jokes.
lay them on me, Ambassador.
So just so that you get some idea of Andorian humor, here we go. How do you make an Andorian smile?
I don't know.
You don't. They always look blue. See, that is that's a little racist because that's actually an Earth joke. Thank you. I've heard that is a part of the cultural thing of Earth. Why did the Andorian refuse to play hide and seek?
No say, muchacho.
Because they can't blend in with anything except ice.
Oh, the ice, of course. It reminds me of our home world.
I mean, have you ever seen an Andorian hiding in ice?
No, never.
See how good it works?
Exactly. Exactly. Do not try to wage war on Andoria.
And what do you call an Andorian with one antenna? A half-baked idea. We got that one from ChatGPT. It's some sort of Earth artificial intelligence thing.
You know, I actually snapped one of my antenna off getting in and out of the car today, but I just put it back together with a little chewing gum.
I love you.
I love you too. You know who else we love is we love our sponsors. Go Live Vegas. If you go to Go Live Vegas in the App Store, they play 80s 24/7. Plus, they have a lot of really great program highlighting local Las Vegans and different things to do in Las Vegas. So thank you, Go Live Vegas. You can follow them on TikTok as well as on the app. We also want to recognize another one of our sponsors, Goldsmith Realty Group, where your dreams are golden. And we could help you with property, residential property, commercial property, anywhere within the known universe. So shout out to those sponsors today. We have an amazing guest with us today. Kirsten?
Hello.
Welcome, welcome. So you know a little bit about being an Andorian. Haven't you transitioned? You transitioned from Andorian to human, correct?
Well, in 2008, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were an actor at Star Trek: The Experience, and
Yes.
you were an Andorian.
Yes.
Blueface.
Blueface.
Perfect.
Cheers. Salud, salud. So, how are you today?
I'm doing all right.
Thank you for wearing the blue shirt in honor
yes.
of our Andorian episode.
Absolutely.
Was that on purpose or just a coincidence?
It was sort of on purpose, yeah.
Yeah. So today is Sunday. Did you have a nice weekend?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you do anything fun and exciting?
I saw a friend yesterday, spent some time with, Biggs. I don't know,
Oh.
before the terrible
Before
thing
the
happened.
Rigelian
The
fever
Rigelian
set in.
fever.
Well, thank
I'm
goodness you
waiting
didn't
for it.
catch it.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to. I don't know. Maybe.
Well, no, I think our transporters filtered it out if you had it.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah. So we spent some time with some friends, and
Nice. Oh, yeah, I heard you guys were watching some salacious movies, darling.
yes. Movies of a franchise that shall not be named.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or TV of a franchise that should
all
not
right.
be named.
Hello, everyone. I'm breaking character now, which is something that pains me. Anytime I'm in the makeup, I hate breaking character. But I have
He wanted to be a drunken ambassador the whole time.
the whole time. But I have questions about this blue makeup. Anyway,
I don't understand why you'd have questions. You know what it is with the Klingon makeup?
indeed. But this is not sticking as well as the.
No, it did not.
Okay.
It took lots. You did the hairspray?
We didn't do the hairspray.
Well, that's what.
The hairspray, we did setting powder.
Oh, no, yeah, the hairspray is actually what we would do, and that would
Well,
do
I
a
have
lot
no
better.
complaints about this makeup. I like it. I've been
Yeah.
using it for years.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
drag mom, April A. Bear, taught me how to do this. Y'all, I just want to say hello to Jake. Hello, Jake. Jake was in our live earlier when we were applying our makeup, and we have concocted a plan. If he's interested, I told him that he actually won a prize a couple months ago on the show, and it's still in my car. I've never
couple?
made it to the post office. But I was like, if I make it to the post office this week, you could do an unboxing on video and send me the video, and we will show it on our podcast because it's been so long. It's been so long.
Yeah. So maybe next time.
Okay, so you hung out with Kirsten this weekend, and y'all watched some interesting movies.
That was last weekend.
Last weekend.
This weekend was the other Star franchise. Star Wars.
Well, we can say Star Wars. That's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
I did something Star Warsy recently.
Oh.
So I'll do my intro. I brought some photos for you guys to see. I'm very active. My life is very active. Well, we have these photos. These are some cosplay experiences that I had as Endorians. The one all the way to the right, that's Jeffrey Combs. He played an Endorian named Shran. He was a main character, a main side character. I don't know what to say. What would you call it? A recurring character.
Yeah.
There you go. A recurring character on Star Trek Star Trek Enterprise, and his character was named Shran,
Yes.
and so he was an Endorian. So on my picture, he says, I'm a pink skin," because that's what Endorians call humans with light
Yeah.
skin or whatever.
Humans.
And then the other picture with me and my friend Melissa, we were Andorians, and we got pictures taken with Trip Tucker and what was Dominic Keating's character? The security, Malcolm Reynolds.
Yeah.
No, that's from
No.
Firefly.
No, that's, oh, Jake, I can't read your thing. Anyway,
I'm
Jake,
pretty
So
sure
anyway,
it's
that was the security officer and the engineer from Star Trek Enterprise. Andorians played a pretty big role in Star Trek Enterprise, which was pretty amazing. And then the one with me in my Starfleet cheer costume, that was a group of, Trekkies, convention goers that we all bought matching pom-pom girl costumes. And, of course, I had to be an alien. If I'm going to be a cheerleader, of course I'm going to be an alien. And the person I'm posing with is Anthony What was that? Okay.
verified.
So that's Anthony Montgomery, who for a long time I was like, he's the best looking guy in Star Trek. But now we have new series, so I've got to reevaluate that. But he was very nice. And then one of my favorite episodes that we'll talk about a little bit later is Star Trek Gamesters of Triskelion from the original series. So if I was going to get a photo op with William Shatner, I was, of course, going to be Shauna from Gamesters of Triskelion.
Did he hit you?
I think he was like asleep with his eyes open, honestly. This is Star Trek in Vegas. So we talk a little bit about Star Trek and we talk a little bit about Las Vegas. And last night I went to the Queens of R&B show We have a flyer so you guys can see. This is what I did last night. There you go. So the bands were and then this is brunch. I went to drag brunch. It is Pride Month. And this is New Orleans. Gosh, it's going really fast. Okay, so and that's Disneyland. I went to Disneyland. And that's where the Star Wars exhibit is at Disneyland. It was very cool. Very cool. That's the Millennium Falcon.
Oh, wow.
Right? How badass is that?
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Then I went to see a Broadway show at the Smith Center with my friend Bob. The show was Peter Pan. And then look, I'm just like, then that's Kirsten.
And April.
At Star Trek The Experience. Okay, it was like, okay, looking good. Good looks. Okay, well, that was half an hour of content in 5 minutes. Great. And that's Kirsten and Tom and Kirsten on Andoria. Okay, sneak peeks. Okay, those might make an appearance a little later on. Okay, so, and that was like the first Andorian. Oh, and Captain Kirk with his shirt off. I had to take a picture of that. 1968, and that's Shran. We talked about Shran from Star Trek
Jeffrey
Enterprise.
Combs, yeah.
Okay, there we go. Jeffrey Combs. That's me and my friend Melissa. And then that is Pettyjohn. What's her name? Angelique Pettyjohn from Gamesters of Triskelion. Oh, and we're back to the Queens of R&B. Okay. Well, that was my update. So anyway.
Yeah, we just saw him.
It's like that was my whole month of June.
Yeah.
We just saw a movie review with Angelique Pettyjohn was the female lead in it, and the guy made comment because she did it a little later in her career.
Yeah.
That it's very unusual to see the age gap go the other way. You know, older woman with a younger guy.
It is. I thought. That's been my whole life. So I don't know.
Well, I'm saying, for Hollywood.
Hollywood.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's usually the other way. You
Yeah,
usually get
yeah,
the
yeah,
80-year-old guy with the 25-year-old.
Pretty much. And then there's me. That's okay. I just broke up with I don't want to say how old he is because then I'll sound really old. But I don't care anyway. Y'all, I'm 48. I just broke up with a 36-year-old. That seems young to me.
Cradle robber.
That's somebody's dad. So.
Way to go. I say high five.
All right. Okay, so speaking of hand gestures, I'm sure. I don't know. Okay, I don't know if this is universal, but this is my Star Trek secret handshake. Okay, so Spock bomb.
Is it
Sci-fi. No, I'm not trying to scissor you.
Oh, okay. What?
Wow.
What is happening?
Oh my God, no, it's a lot more lively than last time.
Yeah.
Help.
It's the additional Geek Shock energy. In the
Cougar.
room.
Jake called
Oh,
me
there
a
we go,
cougar.
yeah.
Thank you. Wow. Maybe that should be one of my tattoos. One of my arm tattoos. People are always like, why don't you have a tattoo on your arm? I'd be like, oh, I don't know what I would want on my arm. Okay, so so my friend, we showed the brunch picture and the Disney pictures. My friend that I went to brunch with, it was her birthday month, and we went to Benihana the other night. And have you seen the South Park where they're talking about going to Casa Bonita?
I cannot read.
Casa Bonita, man! It says not a bad thing. Jake likes cougars, apparently. I must be older than you, as I'm older than almost everybody until I get here. I don't know how old you are.
Why
But
you?
I'm always the oldest person. I don't know why, but it's nice to be a younger individual. But anyway, so we were at Benihana, and so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make a TikTok of this special occasion. We're going to Benihana. It's my friend's birthday. So I decided I want to do the Casa Bonita soundbite. There's like, oh, we're going to Casa Bonita. It's like a South Park thing. And I didn't realize it, and like everything's like loud and noisy at Benihana. So I just add the sound without like really listening to it. And then at the end of the night, I go back and look at my TikTok video, and the first words are like, hey, Cartman, guess what? And Cartman's like, you have AIDS? And I'm like, "Ugh." So I posted it, but then I went back and put like a happy birthday sound over it because my friend is really sweet. So I didn't want her.
Well, screw you guys. I'm going home.
But anyway, so I did kind of want to talk about my month because I actually had an exciting month. I'm a teacher and a student, and it's summer break right now. So I'm actually living my best life, y'all. So that's pretty exciting. So I used to work as a catering manager at a casino on the Strip, and I had a coworker who is a musician, and she performed last night with the Queens of R&B at Planet Hollywood, and this is a huge tour. They have a lot of dates in a short period of time. It was Escape, SWV, Maya, Total, and 702. 702 is a local Las Vegas girls group. Misha is a good friend of mine, and she killed it last night in green sequins. No. So if this tour comes to your city, please go out and support because they killed it. All of these women killed it. Okay, so buy your ticket. You will not regret it. It was, and just be ready to camp out because it's a long show. It's a lot of great talent, beautiful costumes, great choreography. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. And if you go, please scream for 702 and my girl Misha. Especially if you're in North Little Rock, Arkansas. I am originally from Arkansas, and man, that show is going to be lit. I know Arkansas is going to bring the party. So you guys go check out the Queens of R&B. Okay, so I had some Disneyland pictures up there. I did go to Disneyland. The last time I went to Disneyland was in 2015, and they did not have the Star Wars stuff anywhere. They had Space Mountain, which is still probably my favorite ride, Space Mountain. But the first thing that we did when we got to Disneyland was we went straight to the Star Wars area, and it really is, of course it reminds me of Star Trek The Experience because it's totally immersive. I didn't see something like a Quark's bar that I could hang out and talk to Wookiees.
Right.
So Star Trek The Experience was better in that aspect. But we did ride a ride. Have you guys been?
I have not.
No.
So
not
the
yet.
first ride that we got on seats 6 people per car. And so you've got the pilots in the front 2 seats, then there's gunners, and then there's engineers. And so me and my friend whose birthday it was were the pilots. And so it's a virtual reality ride like the Klingon. What's the Klingon?
Klingon Encounter?
Klingon Encounter. And what was the Borg Invasion?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's very similar to that. And it was so much fun. So I definitely recommend. The first time I went to Disneyland, we were there from open to close. I was like, let's just do everything. This is the only time I'm ever coming to Disneyland because I just don't care that much about Disneyland. But I had so much fun with the group of people that I was with. And the Star Wars thing was cool. I'm like, I kind of want to go back. I would definitely go back and experience that. But anyway, so I had an exciting June. I saw Peter Pan, the Broadway show at the Smith Center with my friend Bob.
Who was Peter Pan? Or just somebody?
Whoever's touring with the Broadway company.
All right.
But my friend Bob, we're going to show the picture. This is Robert David Fisher. He was the president of the Nevada Broadcasters Association for decades and is a legend in Las Vegas and one of my very best friends. And he loves Broadway. So we go to all the Broadway shows. And this was the final show of the current season. And this was amazing. I mean, of course, it's Peter Pan. It's a great story. It has pirates and they're flying and there's fairies. I mean, it's like it has everything. And then just to see it on stage with such a great cast. Captain Hook was amazing. I know I told my parents to go see it. It's coming to Springfield, Missouri. So I'm sure it will come to a town near you. So go see it if you are into that kind of stuff. So anyway, let's talk about Star Trek The Experience.
All right.
Okay, so the reason why Kirsten is here today and the reason why we're blue is because he played an Andorian at Star Trek The Experience. Was that the only role you had at Star Trek The Experience?
No. I was actually one of the first 2 actors hired with April. And we were hired in 97 to test the equipment because we were also ride operators. And then we moved into training and Starfleet when we first opened. And eventually I was a lead, part of management, and then I was back in Starfleet. 2004, I believe, I moved into Borg. And I was a Borg for a year and a half. And eventually I actually got a little bored of Borg, and that was in the ride. And I had a lot of friends amongst the aliens. I almost was an alien. At one point, Steve and I were auditioning for a Klingon slot, kind of battling it out until Steve won. And when they opened up an Andorian slot, I thought about it. It actually was funny because at first I wasn't going to do it. And our buddy, Vernon Wilmer, actually, for everybody to have like a preparatory demo reel, like, he filled a 2-hour VHS tape. VHS is, it's something that's old
ancient,
technology.
Antiquated
kids.
form of technology.
Yeah, but at that time, he actually cut little bits every single Andorian appearance in the Star Trek franchise, which only filled a 2-hour VHS tape. And most of it was actually Jeffrey Combs as Shran. And I watched that tape, and I was like, oh, you know what? No, I want to do this.
Nice.
And I went in and auditioned, and April and I became Andorians. She was Lieutenant Commander Taren. I was Lieutenant Commander Kestran.
Very cool. So what was the audition process like?
We did a little bit. We started with a monologue reading thing, and then we did a little improvisational stuff because they wanted to gauge us, how we work on the floor and stuff. And actually, most of the management and the alien lead, who at that time was Todd Agnello, they already knew me because we'd worked together. I'd done some floor work for Trek in the past, so they knew what I could do.
Nice.
So it actually worked out really well.
That's very cool. So, I always think it's funny that the Andorians, they're very, volatile and suspicious, militaristic race, but then they're blue.
Yeah.
And they're so cute.
Right.
Their MO is kicking ass.
Right. I loved the Andorians since I was a kid. I was an Andorian once for Halloween when I was 11 or 12 years old. Yeah.
That's
I had
cool.
some pipe cleaner antenna and
Nice.
smeared white shoe polish in my hair and mom's blue eyeshadow all over my face.
That's
So-
amazing. Do you have pictures of that?
I do not.
I thought you were going to say I do. I'm like, we need
No,
to see that.
no. Oh, Goldie, it's terrible. My mom was not a big picture person, so there are a lot of things that have slipped through the holes of time.
Oh, see, my mother, she's
Yeah.
got a lot of pictures.
Yeah.
Lots of pictures. So you mentioned Vernon.
Yes.
And that's the first time we ever mentioned Vernon on this podcast. And that's somebody whose legacy we certainly want to keep alive.
Yes.
So our friend Vernon was a cast member at Star Trek The Experience. Before I moved to Las Vegas, maybe we have talked about Vernon.
I think a little bit.
Maybe we have. Okay, yeah. Before I moved to Las Vegas, I knew who he was through MySpace. And I was just like, who is this Vernon Wilmer? So if you go to YouTube, it's Vernon Wilmer Video. He has several videos. He's also was the unofficial historian or official, I think he's pretty official, historian of Star Trek The Experience. He passed away recently, but he actually made the antenna that I'm wearing.
Yeah. He was a very talented individual.
He was,
Film,
yeah.
art, sculpting, all sorts of stuff. It was,
Yeah. Yes. What's the question? I can't. MySpace. MySpace was Facebook before we had Facebook.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think that was sarcastic.
Although MySpace is pretty much older than VHS, so
It
Oh,
is?
no, I'm sorry, I had that backwards. VHS is older than MySpace.
Yeah.
So it's not that bad.
MySpace was like mid 2000s.
Yeah.
Because I remember I used to live in New Orleans, and I was affected by Hurricane Katrina, and I moved to Arizona after Katrina in 2005. And I was a full-time RVer. I had a fifth wheel RV that I parked down by Page Springs, or the whatever, what's that, Oak Creek? Yeah, Oak Creek in Page Springs, Arizona. And I remember sitting in my RV in the recliner on MySpace in my RV in the middle of Arizona, in the middle of nowhere.
Wow.
But anyway, so yeah, I just if you guys want to check out Vernon's YouTube page, I don't know, can we pull up YouTube and show one of his videos? He has a video called Gaseous Anomalies that's pretty iconic. It's a little crude. For some of our more posh, sophisticated viewers, I don't know that you will enjoy this, but this is great memories of our very dear friend Vernon.
Yeah.
I know I've told
However, I will just point out.
Yeah.
Farts inherently funny.
Yes.
Well, now you've given it away.
Oh.
So one of my favorite memories of Vernon is we were driving up Flamingo, and I was like, you know what? I wish I knew how to tap dance. Goldie, I can teach you how to tap dance. I can tap dance. I know everything there is to know about tap dance. And then like a couple weeks later, I was like, when are you going to teach me how to tap dance? He's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, my God. That is so Vernon. That is so Vernon. Yeah.
Do y'all have any Star Trek: The Experience memories of Vernon?
See, he was there after my time there. But on the other hand, my first experience with Vernon was I came back into town probably 2004, no, maybe 2005 in like January or February or something like that. And he had already started working there. So a bunch of the Trek crew were at PT's Pub. I was, texting people saying, where are you at? Well, we're at PT's Pub. So I walk in. He's got April in a dip.
Of course.
And I was like, how come I can never get away with that? And he was like, because she's married. And she was like, Biggs. And he was like, oh, you're Biggs. And so that's basically how we met.
Yeah, play it. Okay, so here's Vernon's Gaseous Anomalies.
Did Geordie miss something when he examined you?
Geordie's examination was exemplary.
Then why are you compelled to disobey my orders? How?
Apologies, Captain.
During the missing day, were you contacted by Starfleet?
Anything from the landing party?
They should be sending up a report momentarily, Captain.
It's interfering with our uplink from Starfleet cartography.
The rift affect all long-range communications.
You smell that?
Is there any possible connection with Mr. Crusher's experiment? Could this warp bubble be floating about the ship, perhaps?
What do you make of all this?
I believe the closed orifice leads to another chamber. Undoubtedly part of the vessel's inner mechanism. I suspect it may be necessary.
We can continue to bypass the part of the computer that's affected. But if the nanites are spreading through the whole ship...
You smell a change in... What?
Professor, you're a reasonable man.
I can't smell anything. Yes. I can smell it. Remember the scent. More than anything else, it will guide you. Ah, it is strong.
Try another channel, Lieutenant.
Aye, sir.
Intrepid is manned by Vulcans, isn't it?
Yes, that's right.
Enterprise calling stop.
Sending no call letters, sir.
The correct procedure.
I'm advising you and your away team to transport up at once.
That's good advice, Commander. We've got a sudden buildup of gases here, especially methane.
Transporter room.
It will take the computer a few moments to compile the information.
Data. You all right?
No, sir.
Come on. We mean you no harm.
There is an exciting sequel.
Jackson, where are the others?
Good night, Spot. Good night, Doctor. Good night, Spot. Good night, Jim.
Amazing.
The beauty of those videos is it really highlights Vernon as an editor. He was a magnificent editor, and he had an incredible sense of timing. And putting together those videos are just absolutely amazing. We would sometimes just be sitting watching movies, and there might be, someone who farts or something, and he'd furiously start making notes on his phone like, "Ooh, I got to add that to my fart library."
That's amazing.
Oh.
Yeah, good old Vernon.
What's this?
Jake says Leslie Nielsen would be proud.
That is true. That is very true.
So we are, we've been talking about Andorians, and I just wanted to talk a little bit more about Andorians as a race. The Vulcans say the desert teaches... Excuse me.
Goodness, Ambassador.
I blame the alcohol.
Blame it on the alcohol. I blame it on the Mexican food we had last night.
I think you are a special person.
Oh, thank you.
Wow. Stewie nailed you, Steve.
Yeah, well, he's good.
Okay, so the desert teaches men the meaning of endurance, but it is the ice that forges real strength. And the Andorians live on an ice planet. They have a higher metabolism than humans, which could theoretically permit a human opponent to best an Andorian in hand-to-hand combat by simply exhausting them. And then I made a little spot on my notes for when I was going to go and learn about metabolism, but I never did that. But yeah, okay, so there's that. Andorians can acclimate to a variety of environments.
Oh, Lewis.
Too much turkey sausage. Can you have too much turkey sausage?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can have an 8-ounce summer turkey sausage all in one sitting and pay the price.
Steve,
yes.
you haven't told this story on...
No. This is that's Geek Shock material.
Yeah, well, it's okay. So if you are new to the podcast, Steven hosts a weekly podcast called Geek Shock. If y'all are interested in that. What's exciting and new with Geek Shock?
Oh, the same old thing. Stories about 8-ounce summer turkey sausage, eaten it all in one sitting.
I'm going to have to come sit in with you guys sometime.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. What's Andorian philosophy? I've seen them but never got into them.
That's the turkey sausage talking.
Oh, I was like, I thought we were doing farts. Confused.
Wow,
Good.
yeah.
Thank goodness. Chaos. Especially after chasing it with a block of cheese. Ooh.
Yeah.
8-ounce block of Colby Jack.
Colby
Yes,
Jack.
delicious.
Eaten like a candy bar. Yum, yum.
So Andorians are a suspicious and volatile race. They are deeply emotional, passionate, and violent. And my friend Kat always compares me to an Andorian.
Really?
Oh.
Wow.
How violent are you?
What do you say? I once had a man. No. I don't know. I was on Ryza and
Oh,
got
yeah.
involved in like a barroom brawl and cut somebody with my knife. I don't know. Just random.
With your Ushan Tor.
She's very logical. She's been on the show before. And we'll make many more appearances, hopefully.
Say hello to my little friend.
Exactly. Antenna can grow back. If, like I said earlier, my antenna snapped off when I got out of the car at the Star Trek convention, so I just stuck it back on with some gum because it is very embarrassing for an Andorian to lose an antenna. And the same thing happened to Steven today when he got in my car. But thankfully, we had some blue painter's tape. You probably would have never known had I not said something. So there is a subspecies on Andoria. The Andorians live on a moon called the moon of Andoria. And there's a subspecies called the Anar. And they diverged from the Andorian culture early in their history. They were a myth until the 22nd century because they just migrated to a different part of the moon and nobody ever saw them. But my question is if you are a race of beings, a blind race of beings, I think your eyes probably you would eventually just not have eyes.
They would just, but it takes millions
Your
of
brain
years.
just wouldn't grow them or something.
Yeah, but it would take millions of years for that to happen.
Yeah, your logic is
I mean,
sound. What were you saying earlier? You said something earlier that I was like, save it for the podcast.
Oh, my. What was that?
What was it? If we stop
dear.
thinking about it, maybe we'll remember it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was an ANR character on Strange New Worlds who was blind.
Yeah, he was the engineer.
Yeah.
You're right. But he
Yeah.
has eyeballs.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that's was it Anir? Am I saying that wrong?
Yeah.
Anir.
Enar.
Enar.
Oh, and
okay.
and his eyes were kind of they have them be a cloudy white.
Yeah, they're cloudy. But your eyeballs are an extension of your brain. Whatever you said earlier didn't have anything to do with Star Trek. Oh, we were talking about the costumes. We're talking about how there are certain things that you cannot say and do now in entertainment that you could say in the late 60s when
right.
Star Trek was on. And we were talking about how, for women in the military, Starfleet had these chicks in really short skirts with their butt cheeks hanging out. And then you said something about
the illogic of having skirts and a uniform when you're in space and sometimes may lose gravity.
Exactly, but
floating around going,
Yeah.
I think
no underwear.
Wow.
maybe
Bold
they thought
choice.
of that. It was the 60s.
Yeah.
That was crazy. A lot, and also it also evolved a lot that short skirt because at some point they were skirts, the skirt shorts.
Oh,
So
well,
they-
they have like little they call them boy shorts or booty shorts, I guess. They have little shorts on underneath the skirts.
Mm-hmm. So it went. It was funny because in the original pilot, actually they wore pants.
Yeah.
Majel Barrett and
Yeah.
then Pike's
Oh,
yeoman.
people did not like Majel Barrett as the first officer.
were
A
not
woman
happy.
as second in command.
Woof.
That was not
a
gonna
woman
fly.
who was more brain than emotion too.
Yeah.
They were like, ugh,
Yeah.
Yes, but
that's not attractive. So,
But then you have Uhura, who is a icon, civil rights icon, basically just because she had that role.
Yeah.
Martin Luther King Jr. said, "You do not have a black role; you have an equal role." And then she has on a mini skirt with her butt cheeks hanging out.
yeah.
Oh.
The 60s.
which
That's okay. We do that
apparently-
now too. It's okay.
Which apparently was her idea.
Nice.
She was like,
Well, that's okay.
I got great legs.
Oh, she's got great abs too. That mirror universe.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh!
She rocked that. She
Yeah.
rocked
Abs back in the 60s. Okay, you go.
Yeah, she was a
Michelle
dancer.
Nichols.
that. She was a
Yeah.
dancer. So
That was her start.
yeah.
Well, okay, so back to the Andorians. So, Andorian females, we're talking about like our culture, but in Andorian culture, females hold equal roles in the
Yes.
military, and they are very
Here's
well respected.
Here's an interesting non-canon thing about that. So apparently, in one episode, it was talking about how they needed for Andorians to actually give birth to a child.
That was TNG, yeah. They had the 4 Andorian marriages.
Oh, this sounds
Yeah.
familiar, but I have to
Yeah.
go back and watch it.
Yeah. And when Deep Space Nine ended, of course, the story continued in a series of books. And they actually expanded on that to where Andorians actually have 4 sexes.
Well, I bet that excited a lot of Trekkies.
It did.
That sounds like a
Yeah. And they
spicy
actually,
novel.
yeah. And they actually did, a really good job of it being an alien culture. So, this alien biology has 4. The best way to kind of explain them is they had masculine males, feminine males, masculine females, feminine females.
That's very interesting. That's very modern. It's
Yeah.
a very modern storyline.
Yeah. And again, it was the early, aughts. So,
Yeah, so it's like, there's just been such a huge transgender movement in our culture today that to go back in the early 2000s, I don't remember anybody ever talking about trans people, and Star Trek was kind of addressing that.
yeah,
It sounds like, I don't know, I didn't read the book.
Yeah.
But we might start a book club,
There
like we have
go.
time.
And again, this was in the book, so it's not canon at all.
Yeah.
And in fact,
The books are not considered to be canon?
No.
What?
not since day one. Yeah.
Oh,
Nothing in the books is official.
What's the point?
Yeah. The only because they're fun stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found a red alien on the internet that's supposed to be in one of the books. So I was like, I'd like to be a red alien.
Yeah. So, and matter of fact, I quizzed April about it. She was like, "That's apocryphal," blah blah blah. And, when she was her Andorian character, and I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
okay."
We tried to stay away from that on the floor because,
Yeah.
Well, that's a rabbit hole you don't want to go down.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I took a drawing class last semester, and I'd be like, should I include all the cabinets and stuff in the background? He's like, no, that's a rabbit hole you don't want to go down.
Yeah. Yep. So, and and it makes sense. And for most franchises where the majority of the material is, TV, film, and that kind of stuff, it makes more sense if you just say anything that's been filmed is canon. Anything else, comic books, record albums, whatever, that's apocrypha. Because the audience for books is minuscule compared to TV shows and movies. So it's
funny too because it's like literally anything on screen.
Yeah.
But if it's not there, then you're kind of loose with it. One of the funniest things I ever encountered as an Andorian at Trek is I'd be walking on the floor, and man, oh man, a lot of black guys wanted to take me on about the term pink skin. So I would be walking along the floor, and from behind me, I would hear, "Yo, blue skin!" And I'd turn around, and there's a black guy, big grin on his face. And we would play with that. And one guy actually said, "Okay, seriously, why does Shran call humans pink skins?" And he gestures to himself. And I thought about it for a moment, and I remembered Vernon's video, and I was like, he never actually met Mayweather or Sato, which is Anthony Montgomery is black, and Linda Park is Korean. And it was really funny because he stared at me for a minute, and then he went, "I think you're right." And it was like it answered it, and case closed, and that was it.
That's amazing.
It was hilarious. It was really hilarious.
So, what a special place, being at the Star Wars Disneyland exhibit, whatever. It just really brought back a lot of memories of Star Trek: The Experience. The museum, the History Museum of the Future, was so cool. And man, if Star Trek: The Experience was still around, we could go there today and drink beer and be Andorians and Star Trek: The Experience.
Yeah.
What a loss for our city, these people with all the money. Hey, millionaires, bring us back our Star Trek: The Experience.
Yeah. One of the cool things about working at the Experience is, with the exception of Marcus Kublin, I never had a bad experience with a drunk Trekkie at the experience. They were
That's
they just,
amazing.
if anything, they became more effusive. They were just like, I love you guys. I don't know if I've told the story on this show before, but there was a guy called the Fury, and he was just like this big 6 foot tall guy. He's probably like 300 pounds, and he was a bouncer at some other club. And he came here, and you've had no, you came after the experience, right?
I moved to Las Vegas after Star Trek: The Experience closed.
But did you ever have a warp core breach over at like Jerry and Francine's or anything?
Yeah, I went to Star Trek: The Experience because I lived in Arizona.
Oh, okay.
So I used to drive from Sedona.
Oh, okay. So did you ever get the warp core breach?
Yeah, in fact, I don't know. Our first episode, I showed a picture of me at Star Trek: The
Okay.
Experience with my friend drinking out of one of those fishbowl drinks.
Yeah. The Fury had 5 of those by himself.
That's a lot of liquor.
Now, I would be willing to bet money that there wasn't nearly the alcoholic content in those later couple, but he still had 5 of them. And we were kind of worried because we're like, oh, my God, there's this huge guy out there who's a bouncer, and he's just been drinking warp core breaches all night. But no, I mean, the worst thing that would happen is he might lean on you and do the old, I love you guys. Klingons are the Shiza, but he didn't say Shiza. And we were closing up, and Barry's girlfriend at that time was this petite, probably just a hair over 5 feet tall young woman. And we're like, can you make sure the Fury gets out?
And then you ran like hell.
And then we had to go back and get out of makeup. And she's like, what am I going to do with him?
Did you get hit on a lot? Were women like trying to flirt with you and go on dates with aliens?
I got my butt grabbed
on
numerous occasions.
Well, you saw the pictures. I was in black pleather that was very tight, and I got slapped a few times.
Oh no!
Yeah.
That's a little crossing the line.
Yeah, I don't know if Mark, one of my fellow Klingons, I don't know if he watches our fabulous show here, but we have a term.
Krista.
Oh yay!
Is that your mom? Okay, that's our producer's mom. Hello.
So Mark's Klingon name was Churok, and we came up with this term called getting Churoked. And what happened was, at the end of the night, we'd be taking off our boots or gloves, and we'd find phone numbers falling out of the costume pieces. So one day, and of course we were officially told not to act on any of that.
Oh, no. Yeah.
And for the most part, I mean, I did. I was married at the time, but I was actually living with.
What you did? You did act on it?
No.
Okay.
No. Mark did though.
I believe you.
Yeah.
I believe that about Mark for some reason.
So I was living with him before my wife my wife at the time moved to Vegas. And he came home and he was all excited and he was getting ready to go out, And I said, oh, we got a hot date? And he goes, okay, you know how we're always getting hit on at Star Trek: The Experience? I was like, yeah. And he goes, and I would never in a million years act on it, except this girl today. Oh my God, she was so cute, and she gave me her number, and she's staying at the Hilton, and so yeah, we're gonna go out later. So So he leaves about 8:00, and he gets home about maybe 10:30, and I was like, so early date? And he was like, you know how I said, we're always getting hit on? They're not hitting on Mark. They're hitting on Churok. And the only thing I can think of is knock, knock, knock. She opens the door and was like, oh. So that became our turn. Getting Churoked was anytime you meet somebody in your civvies and they go, oh. Yeah. And we had a couple of regulars like Lynn and I, Major Colin. We had the Klingon brothers, the Hoagland. Yeah, anyway, they would often come as old school 60s Klingons. Klingon brothers, we called them. And one day, Lynn and I were just like, they're here all the time and they're still here. Let's just go out and say hi. So we go, and again, we've been talking to him all day, as Kralk and Major Kal-In. So we go out there and we're like, hi. So I'm Kralk's Starfleet liaison officer, and Lynn is Major Kal-In's Star Trek liaison officer. Wink, wink, And they're just like, oh, hi.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I looked at Lynn and I was like, did we just get Chirag?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first episode that we saw Andorians in was the original series, Season 2, Episode 10, Journey to Babel. It is, I believe it's the first episode depicting Andorians.
Mm-hmm.
It's where the ambassadors from different worlds are traveling on the Enterprise to go vote to admitting Corridon to the Federation, but it contains dilithium, and the Tellarides don't want the competition because they do the same thing. And the Andorian ambassador, hold on, these are my notes. Sarek and Amanda are on this episode.
Yep.
That's Spock's parents.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then
Another
shirtless
first.
Kirk in 1967 in this episode. That's why I took that picture, because I was like, oh,
Yep.
I didn't know they did that in the 60s. Okay. Captain Kirk is a sex symbol. Then, and the Andorian ambassador stabs Kirk, but it's more like a plastic knife that he just punches him with his fist. It's like very obvious right in the camera. They didn't really try to do anything about it.
Thelev.
Amanda's having some kind of conversation with Spock and slaps the crap out of him. Slaps him across his face because he won't give blood to his father, who is dying in sickbay. So Kirk, who has been stabbed, decides to go back and be commander of the ship so that Spock can save his father's life. But then they later find out that the Andorian ambassador is really an Orion. Reggie Nader was born to be an alien.
Yeah.
Nalder. Was that the Andorian?
Yeah, he was not Thelev, the assassin. He was the Andorian ambassador.
So we have a picture of that Andorian. I don't know, Aaron, if you can pop that up there. That's not the old guy. That one.
Go.
No, not that one. That one right there.
Yeah.
Is that Nalder?
That's Reggie Nalder.
Reggie Nalder.
Yeah, it's really funny, too, because this is in the late 60s. He played Barlow in the first Salem's Lot adaptation in the late 70s, The Vampire Barlow.
Very interesting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we have some pictures of, let's show some pictures of Kirsten as his character in Star Trek The Experience. What was your Andorian name?
Kestran.
Okay, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know why I can never remember that as many times if y'all have told that. Okay,
That was
so
a
that's
nice moody picture with Taren taken in quarks.
So that's our friend April,
Yep.
who should be here today. Hello. But like, what a cool experience. I mean, y'all look like you're on the Enterprise.
Yeah.
And that's what Star Trek The Experience, that was Star Trek The Experience. That's what it looked
was
like.
yeah.
Like, what a cool job.
Yeah.
Like, y'all got to play Star Trek.
Yeah.
You know, you were actors in Star Trek The Experience. That's amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun there.
It was a cool gig. One of the coolest gigs I've ever had.
And then this is Tom.
Yeah,
Yep.
Motog.
General Motog. He and I worked together for years on the floor.
I'm pretty sure he hit on me in that costume.
Yeah, the general was kind of.
He got a lot of attention.
But I like he had like leopard print, like furry leopard print sleeves.
Yep.
I was because I'm putting together a Klingon costume, and I was thinking about doing leopard print sleeves, but I don't think I'm going to do sleeves. I'm just going to make gauntlets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So anyway.
You could be the Vixus Klingon.
Okay, so then there are several other episodes in the original series. Oh, by the way, happy something, Jake says. Thank you for all the comments. I know Jake had some other comments that we couldn't really respond to, but we appreciate that. Oh, by the way, something, I don't know.
Oh. He said, happy early birthday. My birthday's in a few days.
Oh, nice. Oh, happy early birthday. I'm glad you are here with us.
Thank
we
you,
should have
Jake.
brought a cake or something.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so there's a lot of episodes, a few episodes in TNG where Andorians are just kind of background. Then the Andorians play a much larger role in Star Trek Enterprise. Season 1, Episode 7, The Andorian Incident, introduces the Andorians, and that's where we meet Shran. And the premise of the episode is that the Enterprise happens to be near an ancient shrine of the Vulcans, and so they go just to check it out because Archer wants to see everything in the universe. He's an explorer. So they go down to the shrine, and apparently the Andorians are holding the Vulcans hostage because they think that it is a spy station, which it turns out to be. So spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. But that really introduces the Andorians. And then the follow-up episode to that is Season 1, Episode 15, Shadows of Pajem, where Shran pays his debt to Captain Archer because in the first episode, Captain Archer saved Shran's life, or what did he do?
Well, Shran felt gratitude for revealing the spy station.
Oh, perfect. Okay,
Yeah.
thanks for I just watched it yesterday, but I appreciate the refresher. You know what? I multitask a lot, so I definitely have Star Trek on. I'm taking notes on Star Trek. I'm doing other things, so sometimes I'm not the best listener.
It's hard to remember all of them. You're just happening to mention stuff I happen to remember. So.
Oh, perfect. Well, I've got a quiz too, so we won't. We're not going to move on to the quiz just yet. I wanted to talk a little bit because the Star Trek convention is coming up at the beginning of August, and we wanted to talk a little bit about cosplay. And if you would like to do body paint like we did today, we used a product called Paradise Pancake, which is a water-based makeup. And that's what April said y'all used at Star Trek The Experience.
They gave us oil and water base, but we very quickly just we just did the water base.
Yeah, what I like about the water base is that it doesn't rub off as easily. Now, if I try really hard, I could get it to rub off, but it's really not going to rub off until I get in the shower, and then it comes off immediately.
Yeah, for the most part.
Well, one of the things, there's how... That was from today when we were partying, as ambassadors on the Fremont Street experience, whatever. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. But what I normally do is I'll just kind of sponge on the makeup. It comes in like a dry pack, and then I wet the sponge, and then I'll blot it on. And usually my body, I'll use longer strokes because it's larger, sections. And your face, you want your face to be perfect, but everything else, I'm not like super picky about it. Like y'all can't, I don't know, maybe you can tell, but y'all can't really tell that, my hands don't look as good as my face. But then once my foundation is on, I usually take a darker color to like fill in, like give myself like some cheekbones and then contour my nose. So I use, just like contouring techniques. And then I just kind of do my regular beat, like my regular makeup. I'll do winged liner and lashes and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I, having most of my experience with this stuff being like the Klingon makeup, that was a cream-based makeup. And we just, again, I'm used to using Pancake, and that you kind of wipe on. The first day I did that with the Klingon makeup, it just made a mess, and everyone else like, no, you have to dab that stuff on and make it really thick. And so that became what I was used to doing the alien makeup. So yeah, I'm used to using Pancake, but but that's all, flesh tone stuff. So if it rubs off a little bit, it's fine because it still kind of matches. The blue, I was getting a little perturbed today because I'm like, I can't get this to stick, and the
it's
pink
very
is
tough.
showing through.
I use the Klingon trick and the Ferengi trick especially of layers and layers of Aquanet on the hands. You can't do that on your face, of course, but on the hands, you just spray, let it dry. We hold it in front of a fan, then we do another layer. You do that 2 or 3 times. That helps, but it still comes off. One of those pictures they showed of me, you could see how the black costume was sort of getting blue because it's just adjusting my belt or something like that. A little bit would come off over time.
Yeah.
The blue would do that. And it can stay around. When Trek closed, I was washing blue out of my ears for like 3 weeks.
Oh my goodness. I definitely got some blue in my...
Yeah. There was one. So
Dance break.
there was one time I did Kralk again for the 2008 Star Trek convention, and I rented a room at the Sahara, which you could get to easily using monorail, and it was 2 or 3 months later. I was like, man, I'm going deaf in this ear. What's going on? So I did the old trick of putting some hydrogen peroxide in there, and I just heard this sizzle, 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 and this lump of brown, basically earwax and makeup just plopped out. Yeah, it was fun.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, and at first I was like, oh my God, is this from like 2003, which before that was the last time I played Kralk? No, this is from a couple of months ago. But
wow.
Still,
yeah,
it was a little.
It'll hang around.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jake says SETI eel. Something
SETI
came out of your
eel.
eel.
Yeah. So if you ever get a SETI eel in your ear, hydrogen peroxide.
There you go. They
Way to
hate
go.
that. They hate that stuff.
Okay, so we usually talk about one of our favorite episodes. So this week, one of our favorite episodes is Gamesters of Triskelion. We talked a little bit about that. That's what my photo op is with William Shatner over there. And then Angelique Petitjean, if you want to pull up the picture of the girl in the silver bikini.
Yeah.
So Gamesters of Triskelion starts with a transporter malfunction of all things. That never happens in Star Trek. Of course, I'm being sarcastic because it's always a transporter accident, right? So there's a transporter accident, and then who is it? Kirk,
Chekhov, and Uhura.
Chekhov and Uhura, thank you, are now like they have to be fighters for the amusement of some jelly brains.
Yeah.
You got to see it.
Wow, that sums it up.
That sums it up. The jelly brains is where you got it. Okay, where you have it. Okay. So Shauna, the girl in the silver bikini, is played by Angelique Petitjean, who was a Las Vegas showgirl. I always hear people talk about how she was in Playboy. She was in a 1979 issue of Playboy called The Girls of Las Vegas. But she was a burlesque performer in the 1970s. She performed at the Silver Slipper, which is an empty lot like next door to the Fashion Show Mall at this point. She was also in a show called Viva Berry Viva at Aladdin, which is now Planet Hollywood. And she was also in a show at Maxim, which is now the Westgate Hotel. I think that's, is that Flamingo?
Flamingo, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's on Flamingo and Koval, I guess, area. Maybe a little further east. And then in 1978, she performed at the Joker Club.
Well, she's got the green hair, so.
She does. Okay, and then I have another note. Oh, there she. Oh, okay. Oh, hot tamale. All right, you go, girl. So people, every now and then somebody's like, because I'm a rockabilly girl, and rockabilly culture embodies the style of the 1950s, and people are always like, what would you do if you were a woman in the 1950s? And I'm like, move to Las Vegas and become a showgirl, duh.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a note that says Kirk pushed Shauna to escape. Like, I was like,
Yep.
Oh,
that was kind of rude.
Yeah.
The classic Kirk seduce and help him
Seduce and
escape.
punch.
discard. Whoa. Holy cow, can we show that? Does she have on pasties? That looks like pornography. Are we allowed to show that on YouTube?
There we go.
Those were not nipples, we promise.
Yeah, demonetized. Yikes.
Oh.
Well, I think, okay. Anyway, moving on. Okay, and then I have more notes. Hold on. Then Enterprise, we already talked about Enterprise, didn't we? The Andorian instrument. Okay,
Yeah.
and then there's another episode in season 2 of Enterprise, episode 15, Ceasefire. But I don't know if I finished watching that because I don't have notes. See, I have to take notes because
A lot of
I
that
don't
is the
remember stuff.
Andorians and Vulcans are at war, and the Earthers kind of come in and help them lay the groundwork for peace, which also lays the groundwork for forming the Federation. So.
Yeah. And
Amazing.
that reminds me of another Andorian joke.
Ooh, lay it on me.
How do you save a Vulcan from drowning?
Oh, I don't know.
Take your foot off his head.
But I'm bummed. Okay, so here's my quiz. I put myself in charge of quiz questions this week. What is the capital of the Andorian Empire?
Oh. Wow.
Andoria?
Thank you for watching the last episode of Star Trek in Vegas on Facebook. Thanks for the plug, Jake. Okay, what is the
Andor?
capital of the Andorian Empire? It is the icy moon Andoria.
Okay.
In what year did the Andorian homeworld become a founding member of the United Federation of Planets?
Oh, that's a Steve nerd question.
2053? No, 2150. 2163?
You're so close.
Oh, 2161?
Yes! How do you know that?
2161.
That's
Way
in
to go, Steve.
137 years.
I drink and I know things.
You know things. Perfect. What is the name of the Andorian subspecies with white skin, blind, and telepathic?
Enar. Aenar.
Can you use it in a sentence? What color is Andorian blood?
Blue.
Blue.
Dark blue and translucent.
Yeah.
So close.
Yeah.
But not exactly.
Judges? Ding, ding, ding.
Hey, we've had people on this podcast that ask really detailed, specific quiz questions.
Oh,
You're like,
my
nope,
lordy.
not even close. Okay, what is the name of the in what region of the icy moon Andoria do the Enar live?
The northern wastes?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Of course you know that.
Well,
We would have people come into the experience and quiz us on
my God.
everything.
I'm sure. What is the name of the Andorian military?
The Imperial Guard.
Yes. I was going to be mad if you didn't know those. I was like, come on. I think I texted you like yesterday. Can't wait to be a member of the Imperial Guard or whatever. A crucial part of Andorian tradition. Oh, a crucial part of Andorian tradition. What is the code of honor demanding a duel to the death using an Ushan Tor, an ice miner's tool? What is the code of honor demanding the duel?
Isn't that the Ushan?
Yes.
And the Ushan Tor is the
tool.
The ice cutter, yeah.
Do you have an ice cutter? Do you have
No.
What's it look like? Do you know what it looks like?
It's like half. It's almost like half a circular saw blade.
Oh, okay. That rings a bell. It sounds familiar. I don't know. How do female Andorians initiate an intimate relationship with a male?
Violence.
Yeah, just like every species in Star Trek, they initiate it with a violent act by assaulting them. What is widely considered the best? What Andorian school is widely considered the best art school in the Federation?
Wow.
I can't remember this the title.
I bet if you just made something up, you would get it right.
What?
If you just made something up.
The Andorian.
Close. You got it halfway there. The Andorian
Academy?
Academy. The Andorian Academy. Good job.
Oh, wow. Okay.
What is the currency used in gamesters of Triskelion when they bet?
Quatloos.
The jelly brains.
The jelly brain. I love that.
20 quatloos.
That's what I feel like. That's what Vernon called them, the jelly brains. So I just always.
That would make sense.
In what episode is an Andorian the first officer to Captain Kirk?
Shoot, that's a animated series episode.
Animated series.
And Steve, what's the title of it? It's the one where Spock has to go in the past because he died as a kid.
Oh,
In the past.
Yesterday. Oh.
Yesteryear.
Yesteryear.
Yesteryear, yeah.
Good
yeah.
job.
That gave us the say lot. It gave us there was so many that was a magnificent episode.
I love the animated series. For a long time, it was really in my top 3 of favorite Star Trek series. But now with so much new Star Trek, I have to rethink things a little bit.
Yep.
But in that episode, it is revealed that Andorians are very family-oriented, which becomes a very important part of their culture.
They got the 4 sexes. Yeah, actually, the Andorian character knows books because he has basically run off to join Starfleet. The rest of his family is like, what are you doing? You know we have a population issue, right?
He's breaking up the marriage.
Breaking up the marriage.
Okay, so you guys, if you could have my band. Oh, can we play my band promo reel, the YouTube thing? Guys, I know I've said this before, but I have a band. It's called Goldie Vegas and the Playboys. We have a monthly show called Las Vegas Punk and Rockabilly, but we're also doing classic rock. And so we just did a promo reel. It's just kind of like our first promo reel. So it's kind of like a new thing. So I just wanted to show that for you guys to see the other stuff that I do. So if you want to roll that beautiful bean footage. Thank you. So we're going to be doing the classic rock show at Voodoo Brewing Company in the Arts District on July 27th. That's a Saturday night. We start at 8 o'clock, and we're probably going to go until around midnight. So I'd really love some support if you guys are available. You don't have to be aliens, but just come out and have a beer. This is the flyer for the show. And then in August, Las Vegas Punk and Rockabilly. Well, we're actually performing next Saturday, July 6th at Red Dwarf with Las Vegas Punk and Rockabilly. Oh. We have 3 bands. The opening band is Elvis is a Punk Rocker, followed by Goldie Vegas and the Playboys doing Rockabilly and a little bit of Psychobilly. And then we're going to close the show with a visiting band from out of town called the Hillbilly Wolves. And then starting in August, we will be at the Double Down Saloon the last Saturday of August, September, and October. So that's our little residency. Hopefully we will extend it because I love being at the Double Down Saloon. Is there anything you want to plug before we say goodbye?
We got the Geek Shock every. Our episodes usually drop every Friday. Lately they've been early. Yeah. They've been on Thursdays. So very raucous, not safe for work. Examination of the Week in Geek. Week in Geek, news you don't give a shiza about. What geeky things did you do this week? And occasionally a segment that we do called Red Light, Green Light, where we green light a TV show that's going to happen whether we green light it or not. But
sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah. So I heartily recommend it, but we're not getting monetized for that show because of the 4-letter Anglo-Saxonisms that generously peppered throughout the episodes.
Oh, interesting. Is there anything that you want to add before we call it?
I would say, yeah, keep a lookout for Geek Shock Podcast. I'm Commander K. Steve is Professor Biggs. Then a lot of us are former Trek employees. I also write for Exhibit City News Magazine. It's a trade show magazine based here in Vegas. It's a quarterly, so keep an eye out for Exhibit City News. And
Very
it's also online.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, well, and we have been workshopping a lot of new ideas for new content for Star Trekking in Vegas. So please stay tuned. Follow our Facebook page, Star Trekking in Vegas. Follow me on everything. I'm Goldie Vegas. And
yeah, I'm just on Facebook.
Right on. Steven Biggs. Kirsten Skapansky? Sapansky.
Yeah, just skip the Z's and C's.
Sapansky.
Real easy.
I've known you for so long, and that's the first time I ever
Lewis.
Great show. Thank you.
Aw,
Thank you
Lewis.
so much. Let's give another shout out to our sponsors, Go Live Vegas. Please follow their social media, Go Live Vegas on everything. And you have Go Live LA too, don't you? Is that a thing? Okay, yeah. So anyway, you guys live long and prosper.